Poland, Polish. Oh, I had a lot of experience with Polish years
Okay.
years ago. Yeah, I lived in Chicago for about 7 months, and yeah, it's a huge Polish community there. It's the second largest Polish population, second to Warsaw, in
Ooh.
Chicago. Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, I was in the construction business, and all the roofing crews were Polish. They were great workers and great drinkers.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, yeah. I had a duel one night in a bar with the head guy. He was the head of all the roofers. He was real interesting. He owned a potato chip factory in Poland. Anyway, we went shot by shot, and we had a guy watching us. He was the designated driver, and it was so funny because the Polish guy he said, I have to go to the restroom. And I told my friend, I said, man, I can't do it anymore. I'm done. I can't. When he comes back, I got to quit. And so when he came back, I wish I could do his accent. He's like, Todd, I must go. You win. And I said to him, you big baby, But I was about to go. Oh my God, that was fun. Okay, so we got some new friends in the house. We can't play videos on this system right now because they're having a problem. So there's no intro. But we have a special show today. I don't normally do shows on Sunday, but Morgan has a knack for finding the right frequencies at the right time. So I'm excited to get to know these two people. I had a couple of quick things to say. One was that, it's all the one and the same. On the 13th of January, so that would have been 11 days ago, we, for the first time ever, we reached 1 million minutes viewed live. That means we had 1 million minutes, and they were not replays; they were all live. So on that day, we went just up to 1 million, which was a great that was a great milestone for us. It's the day we had David Icke, Sandra Walter, and Marie Batchelor. So that was really cool, and I just want to thank everybody for that. Okay, so we have two new friends here, Ania and Nicola, and they live in the Netherlands, which is a cool place. We have a lot of friends in the Netherlands. It's probably our second or third biggest market in Europe. And Morgan ran into them. I don't know how she found them, but she always has this knack for finding the right people. So I'm excited to see a glowing couple, illuminating couple like yourself with great energy on the show anytime, any day, any time of the day. I'm willing to do that because I think the world needs to see more of it. But thank you for coming in and sharing space with us and honoring us with your presence. Welcome to SouLSpeaks 5D.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So how did this all start? You guys told me before the show that you met in the Netherlands. You met in the Netherlands.
Yes.
Ana's from Poland. And I guess you're from the Netherlands, Nicola. He's half.
Yeah, I'm born and raised.
Okay, yeah. God, I've always wanted to go there. I'm kind of glad I didn't because I don't think I would have made it out alive of Amsterdam. I'd probably be okay now that I'm hooked up with Morgan. She keeps me in line. But yeah, so you guys met over there. And now, how long have y'all been together?
In September 2020 was 5 years. So this year is going to be 6 years already. Wow.
When Morgan and I met was in September of 2015. Same time. We met on September the 3rd.
September the 3rd. Sorry, I was lying right now. It was in July. Sorry, it was in July.
We met each other online.
Online, yeah, in July.
In July.
In July, yes. It was 23rd of July, and it's.
So you guys have been. Yeah, you guys have been together a little bit longer than we have then. like 3 months, 2 months. So
Yeah.
were you living in the Netherlands when you guys met online?
Yes.
Oh, you were. You already were. Okay, so that's cool.
Yeah, we were in Netherlands both. I was 2 years already in Netherlands, and Nicola is raised here. So, yeah.
So had y'all both had you had any type of wake up experience before you met, or did it happen when you met?
Or you?
It happens after we met. Not so long
really?
ago, actually.
But you mean reunion, twin flame reunion of you, or you mean awakening?
I mean more like when you wake up and go, what the hell's going on? Something's not right. Like that kind of thing. Because I met some couples that actually had the wake up experience during their relationship. Not very many. Usually they have it and then they meet each other. But I was just curious how it went for y'all.
Yeah. I say always that my journey began in 2012.
Okay.
But it was there was no spirituality involved. It was more like I knew about metrics, I knew about how a system works, and I was very curious about many things. I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness, so I was raised in something that gave me a little bit other perspective to life. So when I was free from it, I began to see a lot of things, but there was no real spirituality meditations involved.
Yeah.
It was more, I was very curious about David Icke, Alex Jones, super soldiers, and this was my beginning of the journey. And real spirituality began with reunion last year, and then it was first time for me with meditations and things like this.
Wow. What about you, Nicola?
Well, I've had a busy life. I knew something was up, like a long time. I never found real happiness in my previous relationships. I always, I wouldn't say kept looking around, but I always knew that it wasn't perfect until I met her online. I saw her picture and I was like, I still remember the first thing I thought, and I need to send this girl a message. So I sent her one word. I said, "Hey," and she responded. I don't know why, but she responded, and we started talking. And I just remember our first date was like meeting somebody I already knew, like from. We didn't actually talk that much our first date. We were just
almost nothing. It was just eye contact.
We were just looking at each other, trying to fill the silence with conversation, but actually being happy just being together, just sitting together, talking about different aspects of our lives. I had a big a big part of my life was falling apart in September. It was really the perfect timing to find her.
Wow.
And I don't know how to say.
Yes. For Nicola, it was like his life was falling apart as a person, and I was also after a very toxic relationship. And after toxic relationship, I was some months alone. So it wasn't on the both sides looking for a real relationship. It was more like it was more like we're looking for people to know, to make some experiences, but it was like he saw me. I gave a chance for myself and for him, and from this moment in July till now, we are 24/7 together
for 5 years, 5+ years.
Wow. Yes. And after 3 months knowing each other, we made a decision to have a family.
Wow.
Yes.
Have you had any kids already?
Two already.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
So that's a lot. I mean, you guys, I mean, it sounds like, I mean, like I said, Morgan and I have been together since September 2015, and it seems like forever, right? But when you think about it, it's not a long period of time. And you guys have had 2 children, plus waking up and expanding. I mean, that's part of it too.
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
Lamar is 5, and Ariana is 2.
Wow, I bet that's an interesting mix. These kids coming in are just incredible, aren't they?
They are amazing.
We are learning from them a lot.
Some of the couples that have come on, and some people that have come on have talked about how their children were communicating to them when they were in the womb, and even when they, after they were born, communicating telepathically, and we've even had some that were a little bit older that have talked about, what they did on other planets and, different things like that. Have you picked up anything telepathically from the children, or any type of way at all?
From mother perspective, so from my perspective, I haven't experienced this, but I was for sure very, how I can say it, I was very in myself when I was pregnant, and after Lama came, because I was very ready earlier, before I met him.
Yeah.
Ready to have a family.
Okay.
I had this mother feeling. So having him in my womb, it was very also spiritual feeling for me. It was something that I was very connected, but we never had, I think you hadn't also experienced like telepathical experiences.
No.
Lamar
is autistic, so there's not much communication in words. He's only now starting to speak, going on to his 5th year, so he's a little bit late in that front. But we feel, I feel him. I feel his emotions sometimes.
Yeah.
When he. I know when he is upset, and he gets upset.
Before expressing.
I can feel he becomes upset before him actually becoming upset.
Wow. Yeah. I have a feeling that as time passes, and these kids that are autistic and ADHD and Asperger's, I think we're going to find out that those are gifts. They're not really handicaps; they're gifts. These are high frequency children. They're actually more normal than we are.
Yes, when we see his expressions, and when we see his emotions, we think, he's responding for things that for us it's normal, like someone is fighting or someone is very loud, and for us it's normal maybe, but for him you think, it's logical, it's that this reaction, this is something that we want in new world, like calmness and love and no fighting. This is what Lamar gives us, like we are learning a lot, empathy, assertivity, and a lot of things, really.
Yeah, I think they're like galactic ambassadors, like you said, they're teaching us.
You give me beautiful feeling.
Don't be surprised if he asks you for a spaceship when he starts to drive, when he's 16 or whatever. So, and now you mentioned something about a twin union or reunion or something like that. Did you have a point, because when you were talking about it, it sounded like it was almost like an event. Would you consider, from the moment you came together, were you both aware of that, or did it take some time to figure that out?
It took some time. It took me until last year to really find out. I just had this moment not so long ago, actually. A couple of months ago, I had a really stressful day. I came home from work. I came home from work early because I had to pick up Lamar from school.
Mm-hmm.
And I came home. I remember we were discussing like who's going to pick up Lamar, like really basic stuff. And I said, I'll pick him up. It's only in a half an hour. I need to go pick him up. I went to grab a glass of water, and I remember passing Ania and saying to her, like, I need to sit down because I'm feeling a little bit dizzy.
Mm.
And it was actually on the couch right over here. I was sitting down, and it was just this really, really mind-blowing experience. Like when you sit down and then you just keep falling backwards.
Yeah.
And it was this really overwhelming, really scary moment at first because you are falling. Well, you know you're sitting down because I still had that feeling like I know I'm going to sit down. I was still conscious. And with me sitting down, I just kept falling backwards. Real scared at start.
Yes.
And I remember, like, I don't really remember what happens in the meantime, to be honest. I just remember seeing lots of stuff. I remember seeing, first there was the feeling of falling, and I remember, like, in my mind screaming out for Ania to help me.
Yeah.
I don't think it was audible.
No.
But in my mind, I was screaming for Ania to help me, pick me up. And the first thing I remember is you were coming towards me, and she grabbed me, and that the moment that she grabbed me, the falling sensation stopped, and I had this overwhelming feeling that everything was about love.
Yeah.
Like everything, you can skip all the other emotions. In the end, everything is about love. And I remember not seeing my own past, but seeing her past and our future together. I have these very vivid scenes in my head, like I see her walking in the vineyards towards me with our kids, both a little bit older than they are today. And I just remember like seeing her. And the strangest thing is I have a couple of marks on my face, on my body that I know of. And the funny thing is I saw her, and I saw the marks I have on my face on her. So it was, and in that moment I felt like we are one. We are. Yeah. I felt my one person.
Yeah.
I already knew it, but
that's far out. And you were on the way to you were about to go pick up Lamar. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe he had something to do with it too. He probably sent you an activation or something like, "Don't come pick me up yet. You need to." I'm
yes.
kidding. Although
yeah, but it's from because he can't remember.
Yeah.
He can remember those feelings that he felt, but I saw everything.
You did,
and it was traumatic experience.
It scared you. It scared you.
I thought he's gonna die. If I have to be honest, he was very scared. I saw a big, before the reunion, I was very. I knew about many things that exist in our world. Nico is a person that was always skeptical, what I very like also, because it's also very safe and very, I think it's also smart to check everything and always have questions, but I knew about existing of many things, but I never heard about twin flames. But when I saw him that he is fighting with demons, he was showing me a lot of signs with his fingers that I knew that battle is between good consciousness. Wow. I don't want to call it good or bad, but it was
I get what you mean. Yeah,
dark consciousness and light. And he was falling apart, if I need to be honest. And I had a feeling that I need to do something. It was intuition that told me I need to pick him up, grab his face, and talk to him like to a little child. because he looked like a little child. He was so scared. He was so unbelievable. I never saw anyone so. He was. Your face. I'm not gonna. I will never forget it, because it was like I'm gonna lose him right now. But I grabbed his face and I said, "Baby, please come. I am here. Please come to me." And he was like, but with a lot of fear in his eyes, and he became to be very wet. I gave him some water with sugar so that he can get a lot of power and a little bit strength. And then I went upstairs to pick up my daughter, because she was it was midday, so she was napping. So my intuition said, I want to show him someone that he loves unconditional, because I am his, everyone has fights, and so, and different is with children. So I picked our girl and I came downstairs and I said, look at our girl. And he was very scared and he said, Ania, what's happened? Ania, what's happened? Ania, what's happened? And I said, I need to go pick up my son, Nico. So I go, can I believe you that everything is fine right now? And can I leave Ariana with you? And he said, Ania, everything is fine. I need to be a little bit calm, but everything is fine. Just go pick him up, because it was a little bit late. And when I came home, he told me everything that he saw, because everything came to him. And then he said about our future. He said that I took him to light. He felt God. You felt a lot of things.
I felt best way to describe it, I felt at one with the universe somehow. I felt like everything was like this experience of life is just really, really wonderful, and it's going to be even better when it ends, because you can start again. Wow. It's like I felt like I understood finally what it was all about, and I have this really strong belief that when this experience is over, you get to experience that feeling again.
Yeah,
you get to stay in this realm of love for as long as you decide, and before the next experience starts.
And so, wow, yeah, that sounds like it sounds it's very similar to me, at least from my perspective. I think I can think of two. I would have to call them Kundalini experiences.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it was like that when you said you sat down. I actually, but believe it or not, I actually had something very similar to this happen to me last night, and it hadn't happened in a long, long time. I was telling Morgan about it, but one of the things that, and I actually used to have seizures. I have about 150 to 200 seizures from 15 to 50. But the reason I bring that up is because when you said two things: one, when you sit down, you keep going, right? You're literally like out of your body. And then two, when you start to come out of it, you get really sweaty, right? You were saying that he got really wet. Yeah. But I've tried to I have tapped in a few times to those experiences, and I've been told quite a bit of stuff. When I go back and lock into those moments, there definitely was some type of coding or even healing, I think. Healing. When you talked about the dark and the light kind of battling within that person, yeah, I can relate to that. So that all hail the divine feminine. Yeah. So she, in your experience, she took you into the light. Is that what you said?
Well, yeah, more or less. I was falling. When I was falling backwards, like when I was sitting down and I was falling backwards, it was like this. Best way to describe it was like a tsunami of colors, of darks and grays, and it was. I was trying to fight it. I was trying to stop the falling sensation, and I was I was fighting with every ounce of strength I had not to lose myself, because I really thought, like, if I let go now, I don't fight this, it's over. I'm going to lose myself in this moment. I don't know if I'll manage to come back from this. And I remember in my head screaming for her, and the moment she put her hands around me, it was the moment I felt the stopping sensation stop, and I just remember feeling the power coming back to me, and I told her, just don't stop, just keep on holding me, keep on pulling me back up, because it's helping. I don't know what you're doing, but you're saving me. That's the only thing I remember vividly. And in that moment, it was when she picked me, when she grabbed me. In that moment, I felt, I don't know if I ever felt more love than in that moment.
Well, it seems to still be around based on the light coming from both of you. So is this so this is an event or a time where you both, when that happened, you both said, we are twins, or we are something, right? That was that the experience you were talking about? The twin.
He used these words, and he never knew about this. And me also, I was spiritually involved, but I never heard about it. Never.
So he used the words. So when he came out of it,
yes.
He said twin flame. Wow.
He said, Ania, you are me are you. We had this is our first incarnation. He said about first experience, about second experience, about third experience. He said also, what you said, you said also, because I was struggling with that truth. I was, like I say, I was involved in how Matrix works. I was learning about many things that are very dark also.
Yeah.
But I was missing a lot of information to find myself who I am. And after this experience, he told me, Ania, you are almost there. I gave you every information that you need to find yourself. And after this experience, we had to, how do you say it? Throw out, and very black toxins, both of us. So
is that right? Wow.
Yes, it was. It was very. We were sick. We were sick after this, and after this, every day to my head came new informations about my mission in my life, because I am now involved in many things to spread the light in the world. So every day came new information, and I think I found myself. I am maybe not at the end of this journey where I know, oh, this is me, and 100% I know who I am.
Right.
I still want to know, for example, what is my origin, but that's things that are not really
you're not like
important, the love is
curious.
important.
Yeah.
You're just curious, but I know many things that I didn't know for sure.
It's so crazy the way this show works out, I mean, it's crazy. I haven't had an episode like that I haven't had an episode like I had last night, which is what he was talking about, same type of thing, in probably 15 or 20 years. And one of the things that happens, and it's only happened maybe 4 or 5 times in my life, but this throw up was black.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And it happened. This is so weird the way these shows, because I'll do a show and it's something synchronistic with it. You've got to recognize these things and
that's why we are talking, maybe, so that we and you can recognize some things about yourself.
That's right.
Also.
And other people. That's what I mean. I think things need to be talked about, these synchronicities, because I think they carry code when people hear it or see it or experience it. And it may not be like instructions, like go do this and go meditate or but there's something about the sharing. This is a fascinating story, and it's absolutely fascinating. I'm going to change the subject a little bit. My my thing that happened last night was precipitated by Morgan and I laying down to go to bed. And I wasn't like, I was just putting my hands on her. I was just loving her, caressing her, but it wasn't like a sexual thing. Like, you know what I mean? It was just pure. And the energy was so huge, what was coming from her or me or however that works. And I fought it for about 10 or 15 minutes. And then I said, I got to go get sick. And it's happened to both of us before. We've had to keep a bowl in the bedroom because we'll just be kissing. And all of a sudden, like the energy is so strong, it makes us flowing through our body. It makes us nauseous or even sick. So we already know that you've had 2 kids in 5 years. So we know you can't keep your hands off each other. But have you experienced is there a notable difference in the intimacy when you're with each other than in your like in your past relationships?
And if we talk about intimacy, I think it's something very special. Mm-hmm. It's a very strong feeling for sure. We are very passionate, both of us. And we are very for each other, but I must say, who further we are in a journey, who more balanced is it? It's more like it's not the first thing. Right. We are learning each other every day, and this journey is not easy. You say it also. It's not easy to be twin flames, but it's every day better and better, and we can't imagine life without each other. Yeah. It's like. Yes, I want to cry when I think about it because, it's not always simple, but it's very strong connection. Yeah, it's like you can only say it, but if you don't experience, you won't believe this story. It's unbelievable.
It's fascinating, and I can resonate with what you said about. Balance, because and I think you're saying the same thing. It moves very fast, and you mentioned earlier when he had that episode that you went to show him Ariana. You mentioned something about everybody fights, but the one thing about this energy, there is a lot of fire, and a lot of stuff comes up, and so there is a lot of conflict, chaos, or whatever. But we found as time has gone on, there's been less projection. There's been less and less and less and less. You know what I mean? And it sounds like that's what you're talking about as well. And in terms of like the balance, like you said, like in the old relationships, it was like, the routine of sex and the performance of sex, and it just had a different kind of thing, right? I mean, this is more of a sacred space.
Yeah,
it felt more physical in my past relationships. It feels more like
for me the same. It was like just people does it.
Yeah, it was more physical in my past relationships, and it feels more like connecting to her.
Yeah,
on a deeper level when we do it now. When actually from the start. I don't know.
Yes, but it's very balanced. So it's not like the first topic in our life, but when it comes to this, it's very passionate, and we are learning each other, and I think every day is different. Every day is the different journey. I need to say it's like
new experience.
It's new experience, and telepathically, it works a little bit different. And his feminine side is different. His intuition, say, Ania, you're gonna see this and this gonna happen. And when I see his face, I know I need to believe him, because earlier my character is a little bit fighting, because I'm from a little bit narcissistic house, so I was very, like I want this. So with him, I can learn a lot. This masculine side, less emotions, more, you know, a little bit thinking, a little bit, listening more. Every day is a journey. Every day is a journey.
It sounds like you've both changed dramatically since you've been together. Like it's an ongoing thing, right? Do people I mean, when you go out in public, I mean, do you notice people noticing you? I mean, does it seem like people, you know, are attracted to you or magnetically attracted to you? I mean, do you seem like you're drawing any attention?
Yeah, for sure.
My colleagues from work especially keep telling me, like, you guys are, he kept like Bas, he keeps talking about us a lot. Like, he's really amazed to see us together. He's like, it's so funny to see you guys together. It makes him a little bit jealous, he says. He wants to, he's waiting for the same. He's waiting for the same. And I'm just like,
this magic,
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it too. Because I think, like, you know, people, any of us, if you don't believe something, you know, it's one thing to say, I don't need that. I surrender, you know, I'm not going to be in a relationship or whatever, you know, but it's another thing to, in the back of your head, you know, you always like your friend, like you want that. Everybody wants that. Yeah. I mean, really. But if you don't believe it, it's not going to happen, right? So I think that's one of the things that, like what you just said, you know, that people see you, they don't even know what it is. They're just going, I want that. Like they can, you know what I mean? It's an energy, it's a frequency. Wow.
Also, when they see our faces, I think that we are a little bit similar, and they are a little bit amazed, you know, like you look very like you look like her, and you know, it's like, it's also nice. It's nice feeling because people are amazed, but like positive, you know, nothing like, I don't feel jealousy. I feel more like they need something like this and I wish them this, you know, because it's not easy, but I wouldn't change anything. So I wish everyone this journey.
Yeah, absolutely. And isn't it, I don't know how it is for you, but one of the things that I've, you know, with Morgan, since the first we messaged, right? So from the first moment though, two things, I trusted her, and it's never stopped. I mean, I absolutely trust her from the moment I met her, you know, to with my life in her hands. And then the other thing, like when you're with someone who, you know, isn't going to blame you and is always going to look at, you know, themselves first and take care of their own stuff, right? That's another thing I notice about this relationship, and even the couples I talk to, is you know, you can pick up on that. There's a personal responsibility that each takes for themselves, which by doing that, they're also taking care of the relationship. Does that make sense?
Yes, you mean making just really deep shadow work to recognize things in ourselves, to not try to change someone, but first you need to begin with yourself, and then you can heal everything. So exactly like you say, and I think, Nicola, you think the same, that we need to first I mean, give a hug to ourselves and heal some things.
Well, you know, if you look at the old relationships, they were all, you know, they didn't have this part. So there was a codependency. So everything had to be somebody else's fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It couldn't be, you know, in every case. I mean, you know, I'm just saying that's the way it worked. I think that's another thing that these types of relationships, one of the things that it's doing is it's creating, not just in a romantic way, but it's like your friend at work. Like it's an energy of love, basically. It's not an energy of codependency or toxic relationships, you know, like you do this for me and I'll do that for you kind of thing. And I think that's another thing that it does kind of in a indirect way, you know. Very cool. Do you see any other couples? I mean, are you guys in Amsterdam or where are you at?
No, we're near the German border in near a city called Arnhem.
Okay.
So,
Do you see other couples or know other couples like you?
no.
Me,
really.
I know someone who is busy with frequencies. She's making music therapy, and they had a lot of ayahuasca experiences, and they was both involved in this, and they saw things that they are almost. They was trying also to check their voices, if it's Tsege or, you know, G, and they're almost like, they're sure that they are twin flames, but they had no event. So, like you called it, there was no event. They just have a feeling that they are twin flames. But I don't really recognize what is between soulmate and twin flame. I don't know yet so good what is the real difference. So maybe this is it, or they are twin flames. But no, I know only them. I don't know anyone else.
Well, I was just curious. We've had I don't know how many. I want to say probably like 4 or 5 that I can think of, where people would hang out with us, you know, like doing work online or even in person. And the next thing you know, they found their twin. It's like they were drinking the Kool-Aid we were drinking or something. I don't know, but it's actually happened to us a few times.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see some of that going on too.
So,
and are you now, I know Morgan must have found you, you know, on social media, and I know that you mentioned, Ania, you mentioned that you kind of were getting downloaded after that event of what your mission is, and it sounds like you're taking an active role in the community and in the awakening. Are y'all both doing that together, or is it something you're doing right now? How does that work?
We are laughing because, like, I from the moment I know about twin flames, I try to know what it is exactly, how it works. So Nicola is a little bit passenger of this journey. So like I'm a driver, and we are learning from each other. But it's like Nicola is the intuition that keeps me very focused, and not to be old Ania. So this little like things from my home, like my experiences with my mother, to not be Ania from I don't know how I can say
Ania
it.
from the past.
Ania from the past. So he is like grounding me, So he's this passenger, like this woman, you know, irritating woman that say no. Stop, you know, so this is Nicola. This is Nicola. He's a passenger, and I am like every day, my focus is on humanity. So I am working hard on a spiritual level. So he's grounding me, but I am the person who is very involved in many things right now.
Well, I've talked to a lot of couples, and there's a lot of different makeups to them. But one of the things that seems to be the norm is when it's an opposite sex couple, because there are same sex couples, and there's also non-romantic couples. You know, we know some of those as well. But in this type of situation, she's usually the one driving. That's all there is to it, you know. And it's really gotten interesting for me, because over the last few months, or maybe even let's see, what year is this? I forget now. Yeah, I'd say over the last few months, I see this I can see the yin and the yang to it, kind of like what you're talking about, like where he's got one role, you've got the driver role, but I keep getting this other thing every day as we as we experienced this, Morgan and I don't really say anything about it because I know not to. It's just observing how you can see both sides of it. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like this. How do you feel about this statement? Like after that experience, anything that one of you learns or downloads, it's really both of you get it, right? I mean, like you both receive it. Right.
When I had my experience, I had, and she grabbed me. I had this overwhelming feeling that I got all the information I needed at one time, and it was overwhelming. Like I understood everything I needed to understand. I wanted to understand because I was looking at her and I was looking at her journey, but I have a busy life, so I don't have the time to read and to look at YouTube videos, or like I'm working 8 to 9 hours a day, and then I have to drive an hour to get to work, and then I have to get an hour to get back home. And when I'm home, there are 2 kids.
Yeah,
I need a little bit of my attention as well, and before I get some me time, it's already late, and I'm already started thinking about going to bed.
exactly.
So when I had my experience here, I just remember like this is typically for me to get everything in one go, and I just remember like I was.
You said Ania Ania, it's so unfair because you are struggling so many years. You are looking for who you are, and I get everything in one time, and it's like overwhelming. And I would like you to know all of this that I saw. And he said, I gave you this already with this union, but you need to wait. It's gonna come. So it was like, it was.
I felt like I had this spiritual connection to her in this moment. Like I could, I'm really
fascinated.
I'm certain that at that moment I had a spiritual connection to her, and I had this almost psychic connection to her, and I could give this experience to her.
And you did. Yeah.
But I had this overwhelming feeling as well. Like it's not fair to give it so fast because it was really overwhelming. It was more. Yes. It really was. It started out really scary. Like you know, you're falling, and then somebody just grabs your soul. And in that moment, you see everything. Like you see, I saw myself in her. I had this really strong sensation. Like we are one. We are one soul. That's the way it felt, and I was like shocked. I could.
And I was almost shocked. There was nothing else. I was like this the whole time. He had to give a hug, and how he was talking, Ania, you know, this, and I was like, oh, and then, you know,
it's yeah. That's when you oh my God, yeah. It almost sounds like a kind of a physical you know, like, you know, people talk about higher selves, right? Higher selves. And I know when I met Morgan's been an energy practitioner for 20 plus years. And so she'd tell me, pull up your higher self. And then we started doing some work, either, you know, I think for me or for some other people. And I would kind of work as a, what do you call it? A third person assisting Morgan, right? A proxy. And so part of that process would be to pull up her higher self, my higher self in the process. But that's, again, that's in dimension. That's in, you know, third eye. It almost sounds like that Nicola's higher self jumped in his body and told you what, you know, and gave you all this code and information.
Yes.
In fact, that's happened to me when I first met Morgan. She an aspect of her jumped into her body, and the voice changed and everything. And she gave me a bunch of information. So I wonder if that's one of the things about these couples, you know.
Yes, but everyone has different experience. Like when I hear you had really different experience, but at the same time very similar. It's like it's something in this union that makes it yeah, really something very, I never knew about it. I never even could imagine that something like this can happen to me. Like a dream, really. When I think about it right now, you know, I believe in a lot of things, you know, when you, enough time to recognize many things, but yeah, it's like, it was something. It was something.
Yeah. Yeah. So it sounds like it too, that he got it, you know, and then when you came back from picking up your son, you got it.
Yes.
And so he's telling you all that,
changed.
and he's telling you all that stuff, and then you had to throw up, and then he had to throw up.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a fascinating, you know, account of. I guess y'all got tired of waiting, and you wanted to speed things up or something.
Yeah, I was always.
What, in a hurry?
It's typical for me to be in a hurry, like to wait, and then do everything at once.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I've learned to slow down and accept things and be patient, but it's still, I still like to get moving, you know, keep things moving. So in that vision of the future, what was that like? Did you just see, was it more like metaphoric, like an imagery, or did it have
more like imagery?
Yeah.
Like I would say GIFs.
Yeah.
Like small moving pictures. It's
yeah.
But the funny thing is, I only remember seeing only her. It's like, it was like this ocean of color and everything. I just remember, and she was not even standing. She was floating in our living room, and I remember her just floating there, and it was all colors around her, like going towards her. And I just remember seeing her, and I was like, this is the perfect moment. Overwhelming.
Yeah, after this experience, he wanted to stay in this. He wanted to give a hug. He wanted to hug the whole time. So it was for him like, I want to stay in this unconditional love feeling. So like, I think it was new era feeling. Like, it's all about. This is all about.
It sounds like the same type of feeling too, like when they talk about near-death experiences or out-of-body experiences. I know when I've had them, that's the feeling you don't want to come back. It's so much love and peace, you know. And it sounds like it just extraordinary. It's almost really sounds like an out-of-body or dimensional experience while you were in the body and you're conscious. That's
I think the body, it's because of frequency, and when you're not balancing your chakras and so on, I think this is just overwhelming. So maybe if you are further with your meditations and
we're not really supposed to see this. You see it. I had this feeling that you see it when you get born and you see it when you die.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
And you're not supposed to see it in the experience in between, which is our life.
Well, you broke the rules.
Yeah, I feel like a hacker.
That's all right. I like that. So in that vision of the future, did you end up having 8 kids or 12?
Just the 2. Just the 2.
I'm just playing around. I like to play around.
No, we you know, if I can say something, we have dreamed that in new world, in our new life, like we're struggling also with many things. This is like end of this old life for us. Really, this year 21, also number 21 is for us very. It's amazing because he's born 21st, our daughter 21st, and Lamar 21st. We live on the number 2021. And this year, 21, it's going to be a really big new start for us. So in the new world, we want to help everyone. We want to love all the children. You know, it's like we have so much vision of new world where we want to be. And he saw us, so we are staying together with our 2 kids. And for the rest can happen everything. We just want to be in this love, you know?
Yeah.
But every kid is welcome because we have a lot of love. So it's like, yeah.
Maybe
But
everybody,
it's so true.
and maybe that's everybody just needs to be a kid. You know, that's like we always talk about the inner child and all that, but it's such a yeah. That I think that's one of the things about being around kids is you get to play around, be silly, be yourself. You know, it's a frequency that's I think part of this new world you're talking about. So, wow. Now, do you do any online? I mean, I know Nicola's working, 8, 10 hours a day. But are you doing anything online? Like, do you have a website or do you
Yeah,
have?
me. I started when I get knowledge about. Yeah, we can talk about everything here. I understand, Todd.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, it's Lori Lett, for sure Jason Shurka.
yeah.
These are people that I am really. It's like for me, it's like family. We don't know each other. We had some interactions, but we don't know each other. But I feel that this is my soul family. So I took on my shoulders, like it's not on my shoulders because it's like ballast. But I'm in mission to translate everything that Jason
Oh,
and
I got
Lori are talking about for Polish people that don't know English. So I opened a channel,
you. Yeah.
which name is Free Minded, but in Polish words.
Okay.
And I am translating everything what Jason says, and I want to translate also his document that he brought, the pyramid code, and
Right.
so on. And I am helping people. This is my mission.
Wow.
And I am maybe fighting for the truth and helping people. This is what I want to do. I want to make people happy. I want people to connecting dots because they need it right now in this time.
Right.
And this is what I am doing.
Right. Is there any way that any of us can support you in that? I mean, do you need us to like come and subscribe? Is it a YouTube channel or anything that we can do to support you?
I am not concentrated on this.
Okay.
I would like I say, we don't have personally contact, but I really want to help Polish people because Polish people, I feel it. I am Polish myself.
Yes.
And this consciousness is a little bit different, and I really want to help them because they are grounded in our tradition in Poland, which is still Catholic.
Yes.
So there is for them literally Satan, literally God, and there is a lot of problems with understanding what's really happening. So for me, the only thing that I would need is only informations.
Yeah.
I am on Patreon, where Jason is, because I know about censorship that he and Lori have the same problem right now. They knew that it's gonna come, but we don't have also easy financially, but I need to do this. So I am on Patreon from Jason, but what would help me is just contact with him, with them, so that I can get all the information that I can give them. I have 2 kids. I have also work to do because I'm making food for people so that I can sell and help Nicola so that he can. The financial things are very.
Yeah.
This is nothing nice. Not if you think about love, not about money. This is very so. I don't need any support, only love and contact because we are alone here. Yeah. We don't have support with kids.
Yeah.
We have support with kids like his sister, some people from family, but spiritually, I feel many times very alone. And
that's something that I think we've all felt from time to time. But there is a lot bigger community now, and and the universe, it's given us what we give, more than ever. So I think you guys are in good hands. I think you got a huge team behind you, you know, and and just so people would know, I mean, they can seek you out, and well, I think you're going to get everything that you need. There's no doubt in my mind. I'd love to, sit down with you again later in 2021, your year, since it's your year, 21. That's another reason it's going to be good this year. But yeah, if you guys want to get together later in the year, talk again and see what's going on with your little galactic children and everything else. But I'd love to do that.
Yeah, we also.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it.
It's amazing experience to talk with you. Really, it's. We are manifesting. I need to say, from the moment I am busy with all the things, my mission, everything manifesting every day is like magical. So I know that I am on the good path. So I understand where I need to be. And Nicola
you guys are living proof. You're living the dream. You're living the dream, and that's what is going to turn this world around very quickly.
And it's starting now. So it's so it's starting now. The old ways, the old financial things, everything's almost behind, and now we are starting new life.
Yeah,
so it's beautiful.
Thank you so much for taking the time today, and thank you for being so open and what you do, and your courage and your love and your example, and all blessings to you and your children and all your dreams and your endeavors. Thank you so much, and hope to see you again later in 2021.
Love you.
Bye. Thank you.